Hello and welcome back to yet another game review. Now this one's quite interesting for a few reasons, because one, it's happening pretty damn close to when I said it would happen on my channel schedule video around Christmas time, and two, because you guys actually voted on this game. Was my choice. Because on Instagram, before I left for England just over a month ago, I put up a poll. Do you guys want to see a video on Grand Theft Auto 5, the story mode, because just online is basically its own game at this point, or do you guys want to see a video on Skyrim Special Edition for the Xbox One? You guys just over the top, just went out and voted for Skyrim. I think it was about 100% or like 98% of people wanted Skyrim over GTA 5. So I decided, okay, I'll do it when I get back from England eventually. Now, certain things that have come up since I was actually planning on making my first video when I got back, but then I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey and got extremely sidetracked with that brilliant game. But when I finally got around to playing it last week, I downloaded it when it was still $20, but now it's $40. However, if you want to get it, just go to the GameStop, and I found it in my local GameStop bin for $11. Skyrim Special Edition for the Xbox One, and in the $15 under bin at GameStop. Anyway, point being, I'm going to be comparing it to other RPG games, role-playing games, not rock and roll grenades. Ooh, now that would be fun. RPGs and Skyrim. Mods, please, someone. Anyway. Point being, I can compare it to other games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is a story-based RPG game in its own core, I guess, and of course Skyrim's original version, the one that was played mostly on the Xbox 360. And that's why I played it. Luckily, even though I never actually owned a 360 or owned the game, I did have enough experience with the game at my friend's house. I had probably at least 20 hours of experience at my friend's house with this game, so I have enough to make a judgment out of how much it's changed. Because a special edition should definitely stand out from the original edition in more ways than just one. Does the new Skyrim do that? Let's take a look. Okay, so let's talk about the most obvious problem that everyone mentions when they talk about Skyrim Remastered. The original Skyrim came out in 2011. So why haven't the graphics changed? This game came out in 2016. Why the hell are they this poor? I mean, the graphics aren't good, the animation isn't good. You're like, okay, 2016. Well, maybe they were just paying more attention to the open world. Excuse me, Far Cry 4 still looks brilliant. That thing came out in 2014. Look at this dog's animation here. It's just absolutely terrible. Like, there's no good animation in this game at all. And also, the graphics are... Honestly, if you told me it was running the same graphics engine in 2011, I'd believe you. I mean, look at that. Oh, God. Also, physics. Oh, my goodness. They're terrible. Like, I don't know if there's clips in here, but I've got a video of a flying mammoth. And that's not a reaction to a mod I had downloaded, because you can download mods now. I'll talk about that in a minute. Oh yeah, that's kind of fun, shooting things with the bow. Except, honestly, the accuracy with the bows in this game would make Church from Red vs. Blue look like a god. Like, seriously, you cannot aim for shit with the bows in this game. It's absolutely terrible. Yeah. That being said, the combat itself, you can see the sword slashes here. Very, very, very repetitive. Also, all the physical weapons become obsolete when you discover spells. I don't mean shout spells, I mean spells. Ones you can cast from your hands, like flames and sparks. And ones that become modded in later on. I actually have a mod for it now called Dragon Flame, Dragon Spark, and Dragon Frost, which are they don't take up a lot of magicka and they just absolutely destroy everybody. But before that, I'm like, this is quite boring. Honestly, without the mods, this game is not worth the $40 asking price online. Really, we're probably worth more than the $15 asking price at GameStop. Seriously, this thing is not, honestly, a great game. Well, okay, sorry. Skyrim itself is a fine game, but for a remastered edition where you expect better graphics, better physics, better AI, and a less dull story, you ain't getting that. That's because in this game, the story is mostly comprised of fetch quests. Now, that too can be said for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but at least Assassin's Creed Odyssey disguises it better and makes you feel good. Every single fetch quest is different. They're all very similar. Also, there's a lockpicking skill here that's kind of interesting you can do, I guess, sometimes. And there's levels of, like, novice and, like, also different types of, skill you need to unlock things with lockpicks. Although sometimes you actually need to get a key. Now, there are also puzzles that are later throughout Skyrim to get to certain places. This one, I had to, if I did not align all the tiles properly, like, up there, oh, here they are, right here, little tiles with the line, you would get shot at by arrows, unless you hit underneath the thing like I did. Now the door opens, see? And they're all variations of that same sort of puzzle, flipping tiles, whatever. They're all very boring and very dull. Now, about the looting of bodies in this game, oh, I just dropped a lot of shit everywhere, wow. And that's because you have a weight system. Now, I know it's an RPG, and most RPGs do actually tend to have this, but why? in a game where you can loot everyone, I want to loot everyone with no consequence. Also, there are not a lot of creepy enemies. This game said there's gonna be like a whole ton of creepy enemies in this game. The most things I'm freaked out in this game by in this game are mud crabs, not this gigantic spider. Lord of the Rings much? Yeah, this thing is still like a bad Lord of the Rings game most of the time. Like Skyrim, I know it's beloved by many, but yes, the original game was legendary for its time, and hell, is still a great game. The remastered edition just doesn't add much to it. Okay, sure, there are mods, as I'm going to talk about right now. So, mods on console are extremely rare. I know not Far Cry 4, Fallout 4, another game by Bethesda Studios, has mods. Not many console games either, mostly reserved for PC, just because of how tricky it would be to make them on console. But they do exist on console for games like Fallout 4, and now for Skyrim Remastered. And now there are over 16,000 mods for the Xbox One alone, and also I think about 17,000 mods for the PS4. Now, that's really, really cool. Except some of them don't work, some of them are just stupid. There's not really any constant control here. I mean, they do check it so you can't make anything pornographic or anything like that. But, also the only place where the third person is really useful is, like, traps like that. But, like, I have a really cool mod that allows me to have really powerful spells that basically replace any need for any actual physical combat weapons. Like, I can take down dragons in 15 seconds with my Dragon Sparks. And just spam both triggers and get Dragon Sparks and Dragon Flames in close combat, and you've instantly won the fight. I've also got the moon from Ruby in the sky, so lots of them are just textures like that you can get in the game. However, I also have the immersive poop mod installed, so you can get poop and make it into shit ingots and shit armor and stuff like that, and hurt yourself by drinking poop stew. But I think one of the most... Oh yeah, there's a flying mammoth right there, I told you about that. I think one of the, I guess, not the most important mods I have, but also definitely one of the most favorited by the entire community is the immersive AI mod. So it makes the AIs, it makes them more interesting and all of them different personalities, and it's written different lines for them. And they'll talk to you different ways, and they'll also react to weather and actual time, like unlike an actual game where, it's raining and thundering outside, I'll stand here in the rain doing nothing. So, yeah. Also, when you kill the last enemy in a group, when we get a little slow-mo cutscene, that's the best example of it actually working properly. Otherwise, the camera will lock on a random shit, like it'll lock onto the arrow, but then like fail halfway through, lock onto the enemy's butt for some reason, lock on my leg. I don't know why. But the normal AI in this game is terrible, and bad, and clunky, and not very impressive. Also, the shout. Yeah, see, there's an example of the see, the camera is screwed up there in the final scene of the cutscene right there. Yeah, there's magic in this game that you can use. The shout magic, which is kind of cool. The shouts, you're dragging. I'm not gonna really explain the plot of the game here because the plot's basically yours. It's basically you are the one game. That is the plot. You are the one. You are the Dragonborn who wants to defeat dragons or whatever. Now, killing dragons in this game is pretty cool. So you can sort of absorb their souls or whatever, and actually killing them, bringing them down to the ground, watch them die is actually a lot of fun. Like, give the game props for that. They made that a lot better than the original version where the animation wasn't very good. They did fix that animation. Wonder why they couldn't get the animation in, like wonder why they couldn't fix any other animation in the game. Anyway, yeah, the magic is a lot of fun. However, shout magic just takes literally forever. Here's me killing a dragon. Takes literally just forever for it to work, and it takes so much energy. You have to wait, like I think some even 45 seconds for it to come back. And I know you can fix up upgrading your magic level because whenever you level up, you can upgrade your health, your stamina, which also gets you 5 more weight you can carry, or your magicka. I'm going well rounded. I'm upgrading one at a time. So I level all 3 of them, and I level all 3 of them again, so I'm not just paying attention to one specific category, because I don't really know what type of game this is yet. It's just a bit, I mean, yeah, it's just a whole ton of fetch quests, really. I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey was full of fetch quests as well. However, they disguised it quite well. They made the fetch quests seem unique, and different characters, different things they wanted you to do. This game is just fetch quests. Oh yeah, also here, the physics engine is broken. Another thing you can use is that it renders third-person jumps different than first-person jumps, so you can jump up the side of cliffs like this. Why? I mean, it's funny, but why? This is the big mountain in the game. I forget the actual name of it. It's near the throat of the world, though. You can jump up the side of it. This is to get to the Greybeard's quest in the beginning. I didn't want to go the traditional way because I got bored of that. Because it's easy to get bored of things in this game. There you go. And yeah, there's a lot of glitches in this game. So you can see this is what your stance always looks like when we're carrying a double-handed weapon in Skyrim in the third-person mode, and it's not very impressive. Your character model is bad and bland. Now, I know I've been spoiled by Assassin's Creed Odyssey's beautiful graphics, beautiful character models, but still, even games like GTA 5 on 360 had better character models than this did. And honestly, I actually have to do if they actually bring out the holiday DLC again, the Christmas DLC, I have to do that one again because it's got snowballs and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, seriously, why? Now you can quick save right here, a quick save to save. I have over 200 save files. I save when I get the option in games like this. I save at all the time. Like whenever I get to a new point, because you can reload any of your old saves, I think. Now, with mods enabled, you cannot get achievements. So just turn off the mods when you get to a cool, read what the achievements are rewarded for. When you get to doing that, get to a certain area, turn off your mods and turn it back on after you're done with it. So that's how that works. That's kind of interesting. I shot it, so you can see it's poop floating in there because I have the immersive poop mod on. They poop stuff. For some reason, chickens poop the same amount of poop as bulls do, but it's, oh yeah, here's another interesting thing. Some textures and boulders and rocks are just there for show, obviously, so you can just as I show here, walk through you can just walk through the rock. Almost forgot what I was about to say there. Yeah, we can just walk through the boulders and do whatever you want to do there. Boop, you can get back in though. Kind of like the glitch wall in Forza Horizon 4 I showed off a while ago. Don't worry, I'm gonna probably do a Fortune Island Forza Horizon 4 review as its own separate review, not just another Forza Horizon 4 Part 2 video. Here's the Greybeards. They're like discount Lord of the Rings Gandalf, but not interesting. Not interesting at all. They're boring and just annoying. And also, half of the game will be spent engaging in pointless dialogue with characters you do not care about. Now you can push A to skip all the dialogue, but then sometimes sometimes you'll have to make choices. Sometimes, and almost never do they actually affect the story, apart from how much people like you. Now, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it will always affect the story. You'll be able to unlock people will die because of your choices, and I know this is the original game came out in 2011. That's fine. I wasn't that good back then, but now because this game came out in 2016. You can absolutely have choices affect the story. I don't know why they didn't. They didn't bother. Basically all it is a port with some newer features to the Xbox One. Now, I wish the newer features could have incorporated some better AI. Oh, here's another annoying puzzle. I actually don't know how I did this. I just sat here and did a whirl and sprinted through the tunnel twice. The one time I did not use all my shout magic for no reason. Quick save right there. Yeah, back to first person mode here because it's just. The enemies in this game are so bad. Anyway, let's go to the wrap-up footage. Okay, actually, this is kind of a cool cinematic scene right here. I'm much farther in the game, but this is when I stopped recording the footage. Anyway, on to the wrap-up. So, okay, from that little review right there, you guys might be of the opinion that I'm not a huge fan of Skyrim. That's not true. I really do love Skyrim, but for a remastered edition, this game just doesn't cut it for me, honestly. I'd prefer Remastered Edition to have better graphics than the original, better AI, better combat systems, more missions, but they didn't promise they didn't give us. They gave us 2 more side quests, which are always fun, and better enemies. Now, this game, Skyrim by itself is a lot of fun, but when I'm promised a Remastered Edition, I expect more. Now, you could honestly make the argument that the mods are everything you ever wanted, but they aren't, because there are some really cool mods out there, like the Dragon Spells mod that I have, which allows me to destroy anything with my magic. However, I wanted mods such as, I wanted a machine gun in Skyrim, which, for other games like Gary's mod, where they have mods everywhere, modding the whole purpose of that game. Also, probably, modding is basically the only reason of picking up this game instead of picking up the original version. You might think, okay, well, they've got mods everywhere. Well, out of 16,000 mods, there must be at least one machine gun, because no, you can only retexture things that are already in the game, like the moon, or, I got Weiss's sword, which I still cannot pronounce, from Ruby, or Yang's Ember Celica. The Weiss's sword is just a very powerful great sword, and Ember Celica are just armor gauntlets. They're not actually weapons for some reason. But if you know what Ruby is, it's Rooster Teeth's anime type thing. Ember Celica, if you don't remember, are Yang's gauntlets. Considering how the term gauntlets is used in the show, I just may have made a really bad boob joke. Anyway, point being, yeah, is Skyrim a good game? Yes. Is the Remastered Edition also a good game? The Special Edition? Yes, but as a Remastered Special Edition, no. I mean, on its own, it's a fine game. If this was just the base game, I'd be happy with it. But since it's not really giving much of an improvement to the original version, especially not graphic-wise, I don't know. Worth the $40 asking price, it is not. Worth $20, you probably have some fun with it. And honestly, I'm not going to finish the game most likely because it's a long game with one single story that you can't change because your decisions don't actually matter. Democracy. No, seriously though. Point being, your decision don't really matter in this game, which kind of pissed me off. But I'm probably not going to finish the game. We'll probably go back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. However, from time to time, if I just want to go out and kill some monsters with some magic, this is definitely the game to do it in. So overall, how do I rate this game? I rate Skyrim a 10 out. I rate Skyrim, the core game, an 8 out of 10. But as remastered edition doesn't really change much, it gets a 6.8 out of 10 on my list. Anyway, thank you for watching.